I'm just going to put that on so I don't forget. All right, last few people coming in. Um, okay. All right. Can somebody out there just give me a little, I don't know, just unmute your mic and tell me that this all is coming across okay? Can you all hear me and see me and all of that sort of stuff? We got a
Yeah, all good.
excellent. Thank you. I don't know where that voice came from, but thank you very much. I saw some thumbs going up as well. Brilliant.
Furthermore, I can hear you and see you very well, so it's fine.
Perfect. That is what I wanted to hear. Excellent. Right. I will keep you all muted so that we don't get a barrage of noise. But I think we shall make a start. Oh, still a few more people coming in. Okay. All right. And we are recording. Very good. All right. Shall we make a start? What I might do is I might change my background on this one because this isn't really my kitchen. This is all just a virtual background. This is where I really am, guys. This is Tiree, the Hawaii of the North. This is checkpoint 2 at Balavullin, and this is what is awaiting you guys next weekend. So checkpoint 2, Balavullin, pop your drop bags underneath the palm tree. This is it, guys. Still getting a few people coming in who are going to be quite bewildered. Do you know, I'm not sure I can do the entire briefing like this. Maybe we should go back into my kitchen. Shall we do that? Let's go back into my kitchen. There we are. Okay, now I feel silly with this on. Let's get rid of that. Right, I think that's long enough for people to join. Shall we get started? Let's do it. Right, everybody, welcome to the briefing for the 2024 Tiree Ultramarathon. So yeah, unless you are scraping the barrel of things to do on a Sunday evening, you are foolhardy enough to have signed up to running a 35-mile ultramarathon all the way around the coastline of Hebridean Island. But guys, you've entered something really special. Last few people coming in here. Yeah, we've got a really special event for you. This is, well, there's a uniqueness to it in itself, running all the way around the coastline of an island. And not just any island as well. Tiree is an absolutely stunning place to run. I know that I'm speaking with many people that know that already and have been regular visitors here, have done this event multiple times before, and it's really encouraging to see you guys coming back year after year. But I'm also aware that there's a lot of you, it's perhaps your first visit to Tiree, perhaps it's even your first ultramarathon, and we all remember what those days felt like. So whether this is your first or whether it's one of many ultramarathons, we're all in the same boat. We're all going to stand on that same start line. And I really hope that you get that feeling of being part of something special. And it's an extra special one this year. This is the 10th edition of this event. 10 years of the Tiree Ultra, set up in 2014 when we had 40 people on that start line. All 40 people got around the course that day, and it was the beginning of, a real community and a family that's been built up around this event. Lots of stories from those years gone by, lots of badges of honor that have been won. Yeah, flipping heck, you think about, standout moments of the last 10 years. There's been some challenging conditions. I think the bits that always stick out for me are those days where it's wild and you're running across Got Bay into a raging headwind. There's hailstorms coming in at you, and it's brutal. And yet there's that real, that badge of honor that you get from completing an event in conditions like that. But there's also been just days of incredible sunshine, and not that it's all about the weather conditions, but it's so apparent in a place like this. But Tiree is beautiful on every day, and whatever we experience next weekend, you're gonna hopefully go away with really special memories, and you will be part of this year's story in however that unfolds. Over the course of this little bit of time we got together, hopefully this will equip you with just an expectation of next weekend so that you can prepare and get the most from your experience. So, first thing, event essentials. I'm not actually going to go through these because they're all on the website and in the briefing notes, so you can have a read through that, read through the briefing notes. It should all be on there. Quick introduction to Tiree, perhaps, for those that have not been out to the island before. Tiree it's a Hebridean island. It's 11 miles long, 6 miles wide. It is, sorry, I'm just letting more people in here. It's got a population of about 700 full-time residents, and yeah, there's 300 of you coming over, 300 runners coming over. So for next weekend, I figured the the proportion of ultramarathon runners to normal people, normal people, yeah, because you're not normal. The proportion of ultramarathon runners to normal people is pretty high, isn't it? There's probably a record somewhere in there. But yeah, and of that 700 full-time residents here, Tiree is one of those places that retains its traditional industries of crofting and fishing. Um, and my experience of crofting and fishing is that there doesn't tend to be a particular interest in ultramarathon running. And yet, having said that, something I've noticed throughout all of the years of doing these events, or what I found throughout all these years, is the level of support from a community made up of those traditional industries is overwhelming. I've gone around the course, and a big part of my job is to liaise with all the crofters and land users around the island. And without exception, every single one of them is supportive and encouraging and is asking me what they can do to help make this event run smoothly. And yeah, I just hope that you get a sense of that support from the community, and yeah, just get that feeling that the whole community is behind you, and you're going to be running through crofting land. In fact, you're running through the main fishing pier over in Milton, so you get to experience running through a working community, and that's very much part of what this event is about. So yes, Tiree, super special place, and we're looking forward to welcoming you next weekend. A few other things then out with the event to highlight. The event headquarters is at the Lodge Hotel, so you'll certainly be visiting that. This is just more people coming in. So yeah, you'll be checking out the Lodge Hotel. Other places to go and visit, the main township in Tiree is Scarinish, over near where the ferry comes in. When you're going through there, a couple of places I recommend. Hebridean Roast, and this is going to sound a little bit like a sales pitch, but it's not really. Hebridean Roast, this is Tiree roasted coffee. This is set up by a guy called Yoni. Go and have a chat with Yoni, lovely guy. He used to be a sound engineer in Edinburgh, and they moved to Tiree. It was around about lockdown, I think. But he set up the coffee roasters in Scarinish. He's also spearheading the community gym project, which I mentioned on Facebook the other day. So yeah, interesting guy to go and have a chat with. So make sure you call in there, Hebridean Roast. Other place in Scarinish, right down at the pier, is a cafe called Yellow Hair. So go into Yellow Hair. I'm definitely team Yellow Hair. I work in there throughout the summer season. Go and see Kate. She's got amazing cakes. She does toasted sandwiches, pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Oh yeah. So yeah, Yellow Hair down at the pier. And the other place over at the other end of the island that I'm going to mention is the distillery over at West Hynish. Tiree's original gin distillery, and next weekend is their last weekend of opening for the summer season. So Saturday afternoon, there's a chance to go over there. The guys that run the distillery are also the guys from Trail West. So that's going to be the soundtrack to the weekend. They've got a new album out at the minute called Thirsty Work. So I guess that's kind of in keeping with the event, isn't it? Certainly Thirsty Work, running 35 miles. So yeah, get a chance to call over at the gin distillery. Right, kind of sidetracked from the event, but the other things to mention, again out with the event, are kind of on the fringe of it. On the Saturday, there's the pop-up park run. Karen, I think you were volunteered to do that. So that's 9:30 Saturday morning on the beach outside the Lodge Hotel. On the other side of the weekend, on Monday, quick heads up, Monday morning, I'm thinking of doing a beach yoga session with a little dip in the sea afterwards as well. That's going to be at 9:30 on Monday morning, venue to be announced. 9:30, so that if you're going away on the ferry that morning, you can still come along to it. The rest of Monday is going to be a course clear up. So if you're staying on, get out around the course again and get in some of the signs. They look like this. They can be hauled out of the ground. They're reused next year, so try not to destroy them. And then for the whole afternoon, I'm going to be over at Sandaig. This is on Monday. So if you need to get drop bags, call in for a coffee, grab t-shirts, hoodies, grab bikes, whatever, Sandaig is going to be the place to do it on Monday. Right, I'll put all of that in a little Facebook post as well, so you don't need to remember all of that. But we need to rewind, we need to back up, because before all of that, you have got Sunday's challenge to get through. 35 miles on Sunday. Things you need to know then. Registration. Let's just back right up to that. Saturday, registration 4 till 6 p.m. at the Lodge Hotel. Make sure you come along to that. You need to get your race number, you need to get your goodie bag. I know there's been a lot of changes with relay teams and all sorts of shuffling going on. We'll sort that out on Saturday at registration. You can confirm your running order for the relay teams and any changes. Go and sign in, get your race number as normal, and then come and find me. I'll be sat with my laptop and we will somehow work that out. All will be well. We'll do that on Saturday at registration. You can also leave your drop bags at registration as well. There will be 3 places set up, checkpoint 1, 2, and 3. I'm not quite sure the system that we'll use. It could be in vehicles, or more likely it'll be in boxes. But either way, you can leave your drop bags with us at registration on Saturday, clearly marked with your race number. I'll put a notice of those out so you can compare those. Marked with your race number, which checkpoint it's for, and pop your name on there as well. And the clearer you do that on your drop bags, the easier it will be for you to locate them at the checkpoints. You can also drop your drop bags off at race start time or race start day on Sunday morning. You know what I mean? All right, so that's registration on Saturday. Race day, down to Scott Bay, ready to go for an 8 o'clock start. You need your race number on your front so it's visible when you come through the checkpoints. What have I got in my notes about the start time? Things to be aware of. The lodge will be open on the Sunday morning, so you'll be able to call in there. There's limited toilet facilities, there's limited changing facilities. So come ready to run as best as you can. You can leave small bags at the lodge, so if you've got things that you want for when you finish, you can leave them at the lodge. I'm going to have my camper van set up as event HQ on the beach, so if you've got small items that you don't feel comfortable leaving anywhere else, you're welcome to leave them with me. But Tiree it's safe. You can leave bikes unlocked at the lodge, that's fine. You can leave them all the way around the island unlocked, and that will be fine. So yeah, it's as safe can be. So yes, you can leave things at the finish. Parking at the lodge, I'll just make a note of that. There's a car park at the lodge itself, and there's an overflow car park just down the road. It will be signposted, but I would recommend you use those 2 places to park, just so we don't get a whole line of cars on the fragile part of the grassy dune just off the beach. So there's issues with coastal erosion there. So if you can use the car parks, that would be amazing. Other things you need to know about the start line, I'm not sure there is anything else other than on the beach, 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll have a piper playing. You will be lined up on Got Bay with a line drawn in the sand. And I would just encourage you to just take a moment on that start line and have a look around you and take in the location that you're running. You're going to be looking out across the water, out towards the Treshnish Isles, out towards Mull. You'll be able to see the top of, well, if it's clear, you'll be able to see the top of Ben More. You can see the top of a Munro from the start line, and not just any Munro, but an extinct volcano across the water. You've got the expanse of Got Bay stretching out ahead of you. That's the start of your run. So take a moment, take that in, and as you go around the course, you'll probably have plenty of moments like that as you come down onto a beach, just blown away by the beauty of this place. I think the best red carpet that I can roll out for each of you is that unspoilt natural landscape. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, take it in, enjoy it, and enjoy running with the wonderful people that will be lined up on that start line with you. Okie dokie, so yeah, some general information about the weekend there. What I'm going to do in a moment is take you through the actual course itself. I'll do that quickly. I'll do a little screen share so that you can see the map as we go. By the way, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to pop them in the comments. I will answer questions probably at the end, but feel free to do that as we go. Right, shall we have a little look at the course then that you'll be running? And I appreciate you're not going to remember every single little bit of information around a 35-mile course, but I'll try and pick out a few little highlights for you. So let's see if I can do this. I'm just going to share. Okay, let's see if this works. All right, so hopefully in front of you now, you've got the course map. So you will get a copy of this in your goodie bags. There's also a Map My Run version on the website, so you can scroll around the course. But there you go, you can see Tiree. It is indeed 11 miles long. It is mostly crofting land, and it's got a network of roads crisscrossing the island, and it's got a coastline which is made up of beaches and rocky outcrops, grass tracks, and a few bogs. Right, we are starting over here at Got Bay. So there we go, this is the Lodge Hotel on Got Bay, this is your start line, and you're going anti-clockwise around the course. So general rule is keep the sea on the right hand side, and if you do that you can't go too far wrong. The navigation that you need is pretty basic. In fact, you should be able to get around without looking at your map at all. It'll be well marked out, but it is going to help you if you have a basic understanding of where the course goes, so that if you do need to get your map out, you are prepared. You can see we go along the beach to begin with, and you can see we don't go quite to the end of the beach. We cut up here on this track, and then we come along here. And the first little highlight I'm going to share with you is you come up to the top of a hill here. It's the highest point at the east end of the island. It's a nice dig to start the day. It's quite a steep little climb up there. It's also entirely unnecessary, but essential that you do that. There's a cairn on the top of the hill. I think there's a trig point as well, but there's definitely a cairn up there. And the rule is that at the top of the hill, you have to touch that cairn and you have to say out loud, preferably as loud as you can, "I love hills." All right, you've got to do that. It's part of the race rules. So get to the top, touch the cairn, and shout it out as loud as you can. You then descend from that hill down into Milton, and this is the fishing harbour that I mentioned. So you'll go around that harbour before carrying on along the coastline, but yep, you'll go through a working fishing harbour. And then as you can see, it's not quite on the shoreline. It's following quite a boggy section along here to traverse around the east end of the island. There's a little bit of a road section on here. And again, I'm not expecting you to remember this. I'll not do this all the way around the course, but just to introduce this first part of it. It's not shown on here, but this is the Gunner Sound. You've got the islands of Gunner just off the map here, and then Col further on the map. This beach up here is absolutely stunning. Really special little part of Tiree up here, over at the east end of the island. You'll come up along here, and then you're following grassy tracks all the way through. You've got these two gorgeous beaches of Salem and Vaul before getting across to checkpoint 1 over here at the end of Vaul. So there's 3 checkpoints around the course, as you can see. The first one here at Vaul. At each of these, you've got a relay changeover for the 4s, and it's just for the 2s at checkpoint 2. But you've also got your bag drop. The marshals at these checkpoints will lay out the bags in race number order, and you can go along, find your bag, get what you need out of it, leave any bits of rubbish that you don't need. There'll be water at each of the checkpoints, so you can fill up your water bottles from those. If you want to be quick and keep it simple, I would probably put whatever fluid you want into your drop bag. If you want to make up like a sports bottle of whatever you need on the course, you could do that. That'd be pretty quick. Or you can just top your water bottles up from the canisters at the checkpoints. Making sure you've got your race number on the front, because there'll be a marshal there recording bib numbers as you go through, and that helps us to stay informed as to where people are around the course. So it's essential that we can see your race numbers. That's checkpoint 1. You're then going to carry on through this lovely section of the course. This is all off-road. It's a lovely grassy surface to run along. You go past Tiree's main attraction, the ringing stone over here. One of Tiree's many natural attractions. But yeah, I think this is one of my favorite parts of the course coming along here. It's a lovely running surface, and you finish off with this stretch along Balafetrish Beach. Right, you've got your first road section all the way up here before coming in towards Balavullin. You'll notice that we do a bit of a dog leg here going onto the beach before coming up to the grassy car park at the top of Balavullin. Again, it's a relay changeover and it's for the pairs as well. That's halfway around the course, and you've got all your drop bag things there again. So that is checkpoint 2 halfway, and you're now going around the west end of the island. Following the coast, you can see that you follow the coast pretty close along this section, along this beach. This is quite a rocky, shingly beach at times, but there's a little grass track at the top if you want to follow that. You can choose your own line going along bits like that. You'll notice you don't go right out to that outcrop there. So these are probably the little details that is helpful to know. So you can expect that you're going to cross over this little headland here, but you don't go right out to the far point. And then you're coming down onto this beach here. I've lived here 20 years. I still can't pronounce that. This beach is collectively known as the Maze. It's a great windsurfing beach, and it looks right out west, right out towards the Atlantic. Big high sand cliffs here, a very dramatic place to run across. Oh, here's a bit of local knowledge. There was a huge whale washed up, unfortunately, down here. It was very much dead when it was washed up. But if it is still there, I've not been there for a few weeks, the skull was intact and it was sitting on the end of that beach. It's huge, and if it is still there, yeah, be worth keeping an eye out for that. So there you go, a little landmark. Of course, it might not be there. I don't know. I've not been there for a while. Anyway, you carry on along here and you come in towards Sandaig, which is where my house is. My house is just here. Is it here? Yes, it is. Yeah, just there. You turn off just before it, down this track, down this way. And yeah, you follow the coastline along, you go over the shoulder of Kenavara, across Balafool Beach, and then following around through here, West Hynish, the gin distillery is just in here, which you might visit on the Saturday. I don't think they're open on the Sunday. Would you want to visit a distillery on the Sunday? Midway through a run, maybe you would. If you do, it's there. Through West Hynish, and then, right, okay, this is a tricky bit coming along here. The golf ball, the hill with the golf ball on is this bit here, Ben Hynish. Yeah, here's something for you. There's actually 2 golf balls up there at the moment. What's going on? You will spot that when you come over. They're replacing the golf ball on the hill, and one of them is half constructed before it replaces the other one. It looks a little bit like the incomplete Death Star. Or it looks a bit like 2 hard-boiled eggs. That's what it might look like. Maybe that's a better analogy. Anyway, you're going around the back of that hill, so don't run up there. If you find yourself up by the golf ball, you've gone wrong. Keep on going. You kind of almost follow the coastline, and then this bit will be well marked, so really look out for the course markings here. And it comes all the way down. You got a really steep bit coming down into Happy Valley, which is a stunning section of coastline. But it's very steep. You'll be glad that you don't go up that bit. It's a descent down there. Anyway, you come through a farm along the tracks in towards checkpoint 3 at Hynish. Last checkpoint, last relay change, last chance to get any supplies and top up your water. Oops, what am I doing? Sorry about that. Oh, go away. Here we go. Which leads into the last section. Now, the last section is pretty straightforward. You've got some road sections. I'm going to put you down onto the beach a little bit early down here. So just a heads up, I'll probably do that when I lay out the course, but it's just a slight detour off here along the coast here to pick up this first beach, Soraba Bay, before on the road over Crosspole Beach, and then you've got this road section coming down through here, through Scaronish before rejoining Gott Bay, and lo and behold, you rejoin that beach that you started on, making your way through to the finish line, right back in front of the Lodge Hotel where you started from, and that line in the sand is now the finish line. Amazing. 35 miles all the way around Tiree. Brilliant. Right, are you going to remember all that? Possibly not, but there might be little snippets that you do. So it's worth being familiar with the map, but like I say, don't stress about the navigational element to it. It will be well marked out. But I'm starting on Wednesday to lay the course out, and there's a lot of cows and sheep around the course, and they do like nudging into the course markers. So just in case that happens, be familiar with the route. Right, here we are. We're back. Right, I hope you. I hope that was useful. The course markings, by the way, will look like this. So there'll be loads of these around the course. What else? What else can I tell you about the course? What else do you need to know? It is going through crofting land, and you'll go through a lot of gates. This is mentioned in the briefing notes, but yeah, just be mindful. If a gate is obviously needing closed, as in if it's swinging about, then close it after you, unless there's a runner directly behind you. If we can just avoid leaving gates open that really should be closed, and you'll know, common sense. If you go through a gate that looks like it should be closed, close it after you. Some gates will be open and they'll probably look like they've been open for a long time. But yeah, let's just avoid having that situation where animals in different fields that shouldn't mix end up mixing. That's probably not going to go down very well. So just be mindful of that as you run around the course. Other things to bear in mind, yeah, it's mostly off-road, so you guys are all used to doing that, but just, yeah, staying alert, being mindful of slippy rocks in particular, cattle grids as well. But yeah, you guys are well used to that sort of thing. Oh, this is telling me that I'm running out of time. Excellent. So that is the course. I've got a few other little points, and then I think that's probably enough of me just talking, so I'll take questions after this. But yeah, just some important points about safety. So hopefully we shouldn't have any incidents, but let's just have a moment just to make sure that we're taking the precautions that are going to be helpful. So we've got a duty of care to look after you guys going around that course. And if something does happen, if you become immobile for any reason, or if you require assistance, what are the things that we would wish that we'd done ahead? Things like taking full body cover. It would be really useful if you guys carry full body cover. In fact, it's essential that you take at least a foil blanket and a waterproof top. That's a good combination of things to take. So if you become immobile, you can keep yourself warm. If something happened, it would be really useful if you had your medical details written on the back of your race number. There's the template for those on the back of your race number, so take the time to fill those out. It would also be really useful that the emergency contact details and the telephone number provided on your entry is up to date and correct. So take a moment to dig out your confirmation email and make sure that those are still accurate. And if something did happen and you got stranded or you got immobile for whatever reason, it would be really helpful if you had your working mobile phone in your bag that you could get out and give us a call. You'll have a copy of the map in your bag with the contact numbers on there, but it would probably be even more helpful if you had those in your phone already. Those things would be really useful to do, so make sure you do them. Things that you can do to prevent getting into difficulty like that is to just be sensible. Going into the event, common sense, but if you're feeling unwell, if you know really deep down inside that you shouldn't be running, listen to your body, listen to what it's telling you, and don't put yourself in a position of danger. And also as you're going around the course, yeah, it's going to be challenging, and sometimes you need to dig in. A lot of times you need to dig in and get through that, but if it goes beyond that line and you know that it's unsafe for you to continue, alert a marshal. We'll come and give you the help that you need to come back, and we'll look after you. Right, hopefully none of those things are going to happen, but it's better to be prepared ahead of time. Talking of support though, well, I've said already that you've got the whole island behind you in this, and you really do. You also have an incredible event team that are going to be around the course. We've got marshals stationed around the course. We've got marshals at those main checkpoints. And they're going to be cheering you on. They're going to be out there all day cheering you. So yeah, just I think each year I'm just more aware that the event team really make this event special. So there's maybe some of you guys out there listening to this. So if you are, just kudos and thank you to the event team. And if you're coming and you're spectating and you want to join in with the event team, you'd be more than welcome to get in touch, and we'll find you a place on the event team. That'd be brilliant to have you. Other thank yous. Big thank you to all our sponsors. The main ones are the Gin Distillery, who provide the prizes, Hebridean Roast, who provides the spot prizes, and Tiree itself, I think, is the biggest sponsor of all. But big thank yous to all of you guys for making the effort to come over and do this event. I know that it's a long way to travel. I know that it's a lot of training to do for it. But yeah, it's the event team do make it special, and equally so, it's you guys on that start line and coming through that finish line, and just the energy and the attitude and the encouragement that you bring to this event. I love it. So thank you guys. Wow, okay, that's a long monologue from me. So I will, how about how we just open this up to some questions before time runs out? We've got 5 minutes left before Zoom does its thing. So I will see if I can work out how to access the chats. How do it? Here we go. Right. All right. So I'm just going to go through the comments. Are running polls allowed? Yep. Go for it. One drop bag. Procedure for getting drop bags to the correct checkpoint. So this was either at the registration on Saturday or at the start on Sunday. You can leave your drop bags in the designated places, so they'll be marked out. The map is a simple paper. No, it's not on simple paper. It is on waterproof, tear-proof, indestructible paper. So you will get those in your goodie bags, and you can take those around the course with you. And even Tyree's foulest weather won't destroy them. There you go. Remember, no dogs and no litter. Thank you for reminding me on that one. Yeah, absolutely. No dog policy and no littering. I think you guys are all up on that already. Mention of dogs. Yeah, just if you're spectating with dogs, just be mindful. Again, I've said it plenty of times. There's livestock out there. It's Crofting Island. There's plenty of places which are probably more dog friendly than fields with livestock in. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, obviously dogs on leads the whole time when livestock are around. Is it too late for a hoodie? Oh, why didn't I not mention this? Sorry, the main reason for coming to registration on Saturday, a return of the Tiree hoodies. We've got hoodies available in Hawaiian colors. I've not even mentioned Kaylee. Sorry, it reminded me of that. So hoodies are available at registration, as well as bobble hats. There's a return of the Tiree Ultra bobble hat. That's not been seen since, wow, pre-COVID days. So the bobble hats are back, hoodies are back in Hawaii colors. There's no pre-order, so you just need to come to registration and get them while they're hot. So yes, come and grab those. Are the bags for drop bags included in the starter pack? No, you need to prepare your own. Bikes on ferry, well mentioned. Yeah, so that issue has been resolved. That was a quirk of the CalMac booking system, I think, as much as anything, but they've resolved it. So the deal is book your foot passenger ticket as usual, turn up in plenty of time, and your bike will be allowed on. That is it. It'll certainly not be a problem coming back the way, but yeah, foot passenger ticket and just bring your bike. Anything else? I think that's all the questions on here. Is that it? Okay, I think that, Kaylee, I was going to mention, yeah, evening, Kaylee, is at the Lodge Hotel. You don't need tickets for it. I should also mention that the Lodge is going to be serving food all afternoon. So when you come over the finish line, go up to the Lodge, get some food, get a drink. And then, yeah, Kaylee in the evening from about 8 o'clock-ish. So you've got time to get back, get showered, get sorted, and then come on out. And yeah, if you've got Hawaiian colours, absolutely wear them. The Lodge Hotel has got a restaurant area which is going to be cleared out. That's going to be the dance floor. We've got the local band, the Corneg Kaylee Band, who are going to be playing. There's also another bar area through on the other side of the lodge, so that's all going to be open. So plenty of space for music, for chatting, for relaxing, all of that good stuff. Is there a team photo competition this year? Or is there? Well, I think there is now. Team photo competition. Yeah, I'll get some prizes. Oh, there's also prizes for the most amount of signs collected on a Monday as well. So help me out, collect these signs and get a prize. But yes, team photo. yeah, get your photos in. Our favorite photo will be awarded a prize, and it might even feature on next year's postcards. Is there a way of getting? Is there a way of getting after the Kaylee? Oh, transport, cash. Sorry, two separate questions there. Transport on the island. Yeah, check out all the information on the Isle of Tiree website. So basically, the deal is bikes, your own car, car sharing, or private taxi. The Ring and Ride bus is no longer operational, so those are your options. If you're staying far away from the lodge, I'd recommend cycling or car sharing. Facebook group is a good place to find car sharing, and failing that, private taxi hire. Do you need cash? No, the lodge takes card payments, as does the hoodie store. There you go. Cash or card. Any other questions before we finish off? We've got less than a minute ago, so this is going to wind up. So guys, thank you for coming along to this. I can't wait to see you all next weekend. It's going to be epic. Brilliant. Awesome. I feel excited having done this. I hope you feel that as well. Yep, this is going to time out soon, so I'll